Welcome into the Off-Brand Top 10s podcast, the show where one of us makes a list and the other three try to guess what's on it. In today's episode, we also have a conspiracy segment, so we'll be talking about the Bay of Pigs invasion as well as Operation Northwood, which is super interesting in my opinion. But Marshall made our list for today, so that'll be fun. What are we talking about?
What's up, guys? So, kind of weird for me to be making this list as I haven't graduated college and I'm currently not in college. But we are doing the top 10 college student stereotypes. Like,
All
if
right,
you're a college
that.
student, what other people, think you're doing all day. And I feel like, some of them might be a little bit obvious.
I feel like as the only college student here currently, I have an advantage on this one.
I mean, well, Karim did graduate college, so...
Yeah.
He's
true. He has the
it.
most college experience.
Yes. So I think Zach has the first guess, right?
I got the first guess.
Next list, and then Billy, and then Karim.
Mm-hmm. Okay. My first one is the first class oversleeper.
I'll give you some points for that, but it's not exactly it. But yeah.
Was it just skipping class in general?
No, actually, that one didn't even make my list, but that's a good one. But I guess you could kind of tie that into it. I'm just gonna say it's sleeping all day.
Okay.
Oh,
that's pretty similar.
Yeah, that's pretty similar. I mean, if you're sleeping all day, then you're just skipping class, especially those 8 a.m.s. That was a consistent problem for me. I'm like, dude, do I want to be getting up from at 8 a.m.? Probably not. Have my roommate go to class for me. Take some notes.
I see.
Yeah. All right, Billy, what you got going on?
Okay, so mine is just just drinking and partying all weekend.
Yeah.
Drinking a lot stuff.
That's a good one. And so I tied all substances into like this one. Just gonna give you guys a hint.
Okay, so
no more like weed, just fucking, because there could be 10 things if you're talking about like drinking or smoking or all that shit.
Yeah, it could just be a full top 10 list.
Yeah. Karim.
Never doing your work.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you that one. Good job. Give you that one. It's not like yeah. Okay. Zach.
All right. So, snobby rich kid.
I'll get. Yep.
Okay.
Damn, you guys are killing it right now.
This is getting harder.
Yeah. Billy.
I'm gonna go with constantly eating ramen. So like the opposite of Zach, being broke.
Yeah. You kind of just hit on 2.
Oh, did I? I don't know how that works. We haven't had that happen before. We'll just give it to me, and then I don't get a third guess.
Okay.
We'll
do I give both of them to you then?
I mean, if that's cool with you guys, I don't really know how to make the rules up on the spot.
Yeah.
How about you get a half a point for the second one?
Okay, but which one's the second one?
Which one did you say first? Eating ramen all day?
Yeah.
Okay. Uh-oh. Yeah. So, yeah, that's your first one.
Well, then, okay, well, like, do you want me to have a third guess or not? Like, I don't know how we work. Okay,
or I don't know.
That's fine.
I don't know. Karim just logged out, so we'll see what Karim guesses here. And if he doesn't guess what you were going to guess...
Wait, can I hear what they already have guessed?
No,
Billy,
because that's the point.
So this is the predicament we're in. Billy just guessed 2 of my fucking things on like one guess.
Why the fuck would he do that?
Well, so he said eating ramen a day or just being broke, and I kind of felt like those were 2 different things, and so I listed them as 2 different things. But I feel like you can kind of tie them into one. If that makes sense.
No, I feel you.
So I don't know how we do that.
We'll figure it out. But for right now, Billy has 2 guesses. You guys literally there are one, two. There's three other ones, or four. Sorry, four other guesses. So
Is it my guess?
yeah, I think.
This is my
No,
last
Karim
guess.
Wait, no,
hasn't
no, it's
guessed.
Karim's guess.
Okay.
What was Zach's second guess?
My snobby rich kid.
Yeah.
Just ripping the jewel all day, every day.
See, Karim, did you lag
That was
out
in
when
my
I
drinking
said
one.
when I said that there's no more substances?
Yeah. It's all good. It's all good. I'll take the L.
Okay. I just didn't know if you lagged out or not before then. Okay. Now I think of Zach's guess. Or yeah, because Billy you don't get another
so
guess.
now's yeah.
All right. The procrastinator.
That one tied in with Karim's.
Oh, okay.
What was Karim's?
Karim's guess was
Oh, not doing your work.
not
Doesn't
doing
do
your
work. Okay. All right.
So, Karim, your final guess here.
Cheating on tests.
Don't have that one on here, but that's a solid guess.
Wow, I can't believe you guys cheat on tests. That's insane.
Dude, no, I've never done it, but I mean,
Bro, every time you take a test, some dude gets kicked out of the test.
Yeah.
Cheating on the test.
Really?
Always.
I haven't had that happen. I guess I don't go to that thug school Boulder though, so that must be it.
Bro.
oh. Or maybe CSU just doesn't
Right.
care about cheating.
That's
True.
true.
Maybe that's it.
No academic
Maybe we don't care.
integrity.
We're like, hey, we'll just hand out degrees.
Yep. Let's get it. All right. Are we ready to get into the list then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this kind of ties in, my number 10, kind of ties into the school that I went to, but I feel like it also applies to a lot of schools. You're probably like a hippie or like a hard liberal if you go to college.
Ah, god damn it. I almost said
That's
snowflake.
true. That's a good
Yeah, a
well, I mean,
snowflake,
it's number
that's what I
10,
was
so you
like.
didn't
I
miss out on
almost
much.
said it, but I was like, I don't know if that's going to like get some heat, so I didn't say it.
No, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's fair to say.
Yeah, it definitely is, but I wasn't sure. Oh, god damn, I'm pissed.
I mean, I don't know how CSU is, Billy. Like, a lot of people, it's probably not like Boulder. I feel like it's a little bit more
It's not
conservative.
Boulder, but it's still like, I mean, I feel like most colleges are somewhat liberal, but
Yeah.
CSU is like a little bit less so, partly because we're in the middle of like, I don't
Farmlands.
know, Larimer County, farmlands, all kinds of, yeah, kind of not, I don't want to say backcountry, but a little bit.
Yeah,
Out in the back country,
yeah.
out here in
But-
Fort Collins.
But Boulder, this one's true. I don't know if Karim
Yeah,
can attest
definitely
to
in Boulder.
Yep.
I feel like to an extent it's true of pretty much every college,
it. Yeah.
except for like fucking what is it,
Alabama.
Liberty?
Alabama or Mississippi State or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all
But,
the crazy ones.
yeah. But anywhere I know, I think it's pretty fair to say.
Yeah,
Okay, my number 9. Everyone is in a frat or sorority, or just like frats reign hard.
mm.
I don't really
Really?
know. That,
yeah.
I
I mean, I'm
mean-
not in a frat, but
Yeah,
I know a lot of people in
but I feel like
frats.
it's a stereotype. Is like colleges
Yeah.
are just run by frats.
Like,
Okay.
yeah, when you think of college, you think of frat parties.
This is why it's like stereotypes, whether or not they're true.
Yeah.
But
That's a good point.
I don't know. Zach got this one. Like, you have rich parents. It's not rich
Oh,
kids.
Yeah, these
Especially,
kids are the most annoying, for sure.
especially in like Boulder.
Oh, I'm sure
Or-
it was rampant
Dude.
up there, for sure.
They're
Yeah.
like DU. It's like, good God.
Oh my god, I couldn't even imagine the
Just
participants
any of the
flying
private
out.
schools. Dude, imagine like the Ivy schools.
Oh lord, no,
Oh,
I don't want
Everyone
it's,
there is.
everyone's either super rich or super smart.
Yeah.
to. I wish I was super smart and super rich.
Yeah.
and not.
I wish I was
pretentious.
both. That'd be nice.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah. Okay. So that was my number 8, right? Yeah. Number 7. You're really messy. Don't do a whole lot of laundry.
Yeah. That's a good one.
That's definitely a true one. That's
yeah,
a true
that's
one.
a very true one, dude. I mean, I haven't outlived that yet at all.
Yeah, I don't, like it's a good thing the camera doesn't show the rest of my room here.
Oh, dude, it's bad. I mean, like, how many times do you think a college student washes their bed sheets in a year?
Oh, I
Maybe
did
once. Yeah.
Yeah, once or
twice.
unless you're just like super pretentious and you're like, I need a
Or you
clean
don't
room.
like.
I have a
having
roommate
me.
that is actually like a neat freak, so that's kind of interesting. Like he's the opposite, like constantly washing everything.
I mean, that's kind of abnormal though. I'd say. I feel like most
Yeah,
college
definitely
students
not the norm.
are just living in a fucking
Oh yeah.
pile of just their dirty laundry.
I mean, all the
and beer
apartments
cans.
or dorms or houses I've been in, like there are very few clean ones.
Yeah, bro. Pizza boxes everywhere, beer cans everywhere. Haven't
Yeah.
washed the toilets in months. It's kind of gross if you think about it, but it's also pretty true.
The point is just not think about it though.
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
So Karim got this one, but then Zach also kind of guessed it, like procrastinating or not doing your work. Like, just waiting until 7 a.m. the next morning to finish a paper that's due at 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had that
Pulling all-nighter.
problem all throughout school for sure. And then I just didn't do it. I was just like, nah, I won't finish it.
Same. I had the problem where I procrastinate and then I'm like, okay, is this even worth it at this
Yeah,
point?
exactly.
Dude,
I was like,
especially
And
no.
then I don't do it.
Like, oh,
I
Deadline's
gotten a
already
little bit
passed.
better, but I'm not good at that. I'm really good at
Dude,
procrastinating.
that's my shit. Just waking up at 4 in the morning when you haven't done anything in weeks. Just hunkering
yeah,
down.
dude. I mean, this
No,
range.
okay,
true, man.
I would always. I played that game where it's like, oh, it's 4 in the morning. I have about 3 hours to get this done. I can get it done in 2, and then it's like an hour later. I can get it done in an hour. Like, I can get it done in 15 minutes, and then just never do it.
And then you're just like, no, not getting done. Teacher, my dog pulled the LAN cable. Can't really work anymore with like eating the homework.
Yeah, it's rough.
4, 5. Okay, so my fifth one, Zach got this one, like sleeping all day, and then that kind of entails to, skipping classes.
Yeah.
Dude.
I
I'm a
honestly, I
big
feel like
sleeper.
I did a pretty good job of this. I went to most of my classes.
Yeah,
Does not-
I guess I did too until like the very end of each time that I
Yeah.
tried college. I was like, I'm doing good,
Dude.
good, and then it was just like flat line, just died.
Yeah.
First 2
It
months,
kind of depended on the class, though.
first 2 months are like good for me, but then once I start like, if I skip 2 classes in like 1 week, it just starts multiplying.
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay.
Especially like, okay, so the one class I did this horribly is Calc 3. I decided to skip like 2 days in a row. And then I was like, okay, now I don't know what's going on. So I was like, I don't know what's going on anyway. I might as well skip more days. And I ended up having to withdraw from the class because I was clueless.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Going to class is pretty important, whether or not.
Oh yeah.
But at the time, dude, it's like,
There's some that you can blow off. Like, I had a history class that I could blow off and still get an A in, but like,
yeah.
most of the time you should go to class.
Yeah, absolutely. Grim, what do you think?
No, I agree, man. I didn't skip a lot just because I just looked at the tuition bill every time
Yeah.
freshman year, and I was like, yep, I am not going to waste my money.
Yeah.
So
it's-
thankfully I did not. But yeah, I know it's a slippery slope.
Oh yeah.
there
I
are a
was
lot
in-
of people
It's
that
funny
can just
that-
like skip classes too, and then just do absolutely excellent.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
because dude, some of like my friends are like that and have gotten into the Ivy League graduate schools and never went to class. It's like, how the hell?
Yeah, those kids are pretty rare for sure.
Just teach yourself,
Yeah,
yeah.
it happens
Yeah.
sometimes. I think it's funny that Karim's the one that doesn't skip classes, and he's also the one that graduated.
Yeah.
So there
exactly.
might be a correlation there.
Yeah, he also graduated with honors, so
Yeah, so maybe there's something to be said.
there's
for
probably a
going to class.
correlation there, and there's probably also a correlation to why I'm not in school. But screw it, boys. I'm going through it.
Screw it.
Okay, so the next two Billy got, which I feel like he cheated.
Yeah, he
I
definitely
feel like
did cheat.
they should be one item.
It
I
should
don't know.
definitely
Okay,
just
I'm in last.
one
I'm in
thing that
last
he
by
gets.
like
He doesn't
10
get
points.
both of
So
them.
like, throw me a bone here.
So my number 4 is eat like shit, like / the freshman 15.
See, I
Oh,
wouldn't
for
have
me?
played ramen to that though.
See, I wouldn't have given that. I would have given me just the going broke one. Because I feel like the ramen is more associated with going broke than eating like shit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If I'm trying to eat like shit, you're not eating ramen. You're eating
Yeah, when I'm eating, like, when I started eating like shit, it was because I was going to, like, fucking Wendy's every day to get burgers.
Right.
Okay, so then we take Billy's point away then.
Yeah.
Okay, but why? But now I lost a guess
good.
for no reason.
Okay, fine. We'll give you a half a point for that one then.
Okay, I like that.
Since you lost your next betting right. But I don't know. Ramen is really fucking shitty for you.
That's true. It is bad for you, but that wasn't like that wasn't what I was getting at.
It's bad for you, but I don't think it's shitty food. I think it's
pretty shitty.
okay.
It's 10 cents a packet.
Yeah.
Exactly.
How good could it be?
You're not eating it because you're trying to just eat shit. You're eating
Like the
'cause
reason
you
you're
have to
eating
eat
ramen isn't because you want shit that tastes good. It's because that's all you can afford to eat.
I mean, sometimes, dude, at like 3 a.m., it's like a good ramen.
Oh, yeah, I can't go wrong.
Yeah, but why'd you buy the ramen?
For when you're sloshed.
Yeah, because
Okay,
you're
fair
broke. But
enough.
then, another reason, like, you're eating like shit because you are broke. Shitty food is way less expensive than high quality
is
good
true.
food.
Do you want to talk
Healthy
about
food
food
is really
deserts?
expensive.
Let's talk about food deserts.
What?
Food deserts.
Food deserts.
What's a food desert?
Yeah.
In urban areas where, because they are lower socioeconomic status, they don't have access to grocery stores, and they're not able to eat healthily. Sorry, I was just trying to make a joke, and it did not work out.
It was a joke, but none of us understood it, so you had to explain it. I
just
get it now.
Flew right over my head.
Same. Like we said, Karim graduated college. The rest of us have not. He's the smart
Okay.
one here.
Next, here we go. So broke. Being broke.
Yeah, which is fair. Everyone in college is broke. It's hard to not be broke.
But then, dude, this next one also kind of, I feel like, is a little bit different. These three. So I guess I'll just go into number 2. In massive amounts of school debt.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that
Which is why you're
different
broke?
or the same as being broke?
That I don't think
I think
it's
it's
the same as being
different.
broke.
I think it's
No,
different.
it's different.
I think it's different too.
Different
so
enough.
that's why I.
Right, because if you have a
separated
house, you're not broke, but you have $200,000 worth of debt on your. In your
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
like
true.
being broke is like disposable income that you can't buy
Right.
food with or beer.
yeah, when your debit card's bouncing, and you're trying to
Yeah.
buy ramen at the grocery store.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's broke.
Yeah.
That's funny. That is definitely broke.
Yeah, when you're having to sell your ass on the streets, then
Yeah.
then
Then you know you're broke.
You're broke. But then, yeah. So number 2, being in massive amounts of school debt. That's pretty
Relatable.
Yeah.
like self-explanatory there. I feel like a lot of like if you're thinking whether or not to go to college, it's whether or not you can afford it, and then even if you like think you can't and you try, then you're still gonna be like screwed at the end. just
Worst
'cause-
case scenario is when you try to go to college and you take out a bunch of loans and then don't graduate.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that happens to a lot of people.
Uh-huh. Maybe
Especially
go to
when
a
you-
community college and
Yeah.
test the waters.
That's why it's.
That's what I did. I
very
went to community
smart.
college at first and it was good. Except it sucks socially. Like, I
Yeah.
murdered my
Yes.
social life by going to community college.
It does
mean-
suck.
Yeah, dude. Metro is kind of like in between on that because
Yeah.
it's like not necessarily community college, but then it's a commuter school, so it's still harder to make like
Yeah.
friends because like your friend might live like in Westminster and you live in Aurora, unless like you have friends that are like living downtown.
Well, and
or
it's also
something.
just like when you live with your parents, you don't want to invite people over.
yeah, that's
Which
another thing.
was like the big thing for me in community college. Is like, I really want to invite people over to my parents' house, so
Yeah.
I was like, no.
I mean, yeah, Metro is kind of just that type of school, and there's a bunch of old people that go to Metro, like 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds that are just trying to finish out their degree. So it's also kind of hard to
and
make
it's also
friends
like
with
there's
those
a lot
guys.
online at Metro. Metro's an interesting school.
Yeah, it's kind of just a school to go to if you just want a degree, like nothing else. Like,
Yeah.
no like typical college experience or anything.
Right.
Definitely.
Okay. So number 1, this is probably really easy, but party hard, drink a lot of beer, smoke a lot of weed, pass out
Yep.
in a ditch somewhere.
I've never passed out in a ditch. I can say that.
Yeah, I haven't either, but I have been pretty intoxicated in my college years.
It's happened. It happens from time to time.
Yeah. I mean, you want to tell your craziest story, Billy?
My craziest?
I
The time I set my face on fire?
Yeah, let's go with that one.
Okay. Well, it was my 21st birthday. I was born on Halloween, so it was Halloween night, which is like the biggest college party holiday, along with my 21st birthday. So I was drinking a little bit that night, and I for some reason we were dancing on like a counter at this house party, and out of nowhere, like what they had like a hanging light, and it swung and like the glass broke and just like the light kind of exploded at the same time, and just, there was a fireball like right on my face, and I didn't feel it at the time because alcohol will do that to you.
Drunk.
But I just saw the reactions of everyone, like all my friends that were standing under me, and their faces were just like, "Oh my god!" Like they thought I was gonna die. The next morning, I woke up, and it was like for the next week, I just had a giant scar on the side of my face. One of my teachers walked up to me the next day. She's like, "Oh, so what'd you get up to last night?" I was like, nothing.
Well, it was Halloween,
I almost
and it was my
combusted.
21st.
I almost
it was a lot going on in one night.
Oh my
That's
god.
funny. Dude,
That's
yeah.
good.
Lighting yourself on fire is pretty good.
That's a good one right there. Yeah, that's a good
You were
one.
standing on a table, and there was like a chandelier or something?
Yeah, it wasn't like a full chandelier. It was just like it was like sometimes they go to a counter and they have like 3 individual light bulbs.
Oh,
and they're all
yeah.
kind of hanging, and they have like the case. It was like that, and it broke. And
How was it swinging?
I don't know why I was swinging.
Someone
It
just
was-
launched
I
it.
know
I think
why
it might have been
was
someone like bumped into it or something, and then it swung into my face. It wasn't like swinging like crazy or anything. It was like kind of slowly swinging. It hit me in
How
the
the
face. and blew
hell?
up.
How
I
the
don't
hell
know.
did it
I
hit
think
you
it was
hard
just
enough
this
to blow
freak
up?
accident. I think it was like a freak accident. There was like a power surge at the same time that exploded the light bulb as it happened to be swinging next to my face, and just the worst chain of events ever. It was the
hilarious.
weirdest experience and simultaneously one of the funniest experiences of my life.
Yeah, that is pretty funny. Alright. Do you guys have any honorable mentions? I know, like, you guys definitely guessed a couple, but I couldn't, like, there were definitely some. I mean, but then a lot, it was kind of hard for me because I feel like a lot, like, tied in with each other. You know, sleeping all day / like skipping class. Like, skipping class could probably be its own thing.
Right,
But-
sleeping, you're probably skipping class if you're sleeping in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
They're
then on the
kinda
weekends,
hand
it's
in hand.
like you're sleeping all day too, and that's not when classes are happening.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. And the weekends, you're up at... Honestly, that's kind of what my life is anyway, because I have a hard time sleeping at night.
Yeah,
So I usually end up sleeping all day and staying up all night, even
I do
not
too.
by choice.
no, I mean, yeah, when I have a day off, you can find me waking up at 1 or 2,
Yeah.
something like that. But to catch up with all the sleep that I missed because I stay up till 4 a.m., even when I have to get up at
Exactly.
like 8:39. Yeah.
Yeah, it's rough. All right, let's transition here into our conspiracy segment. I mentioned it in the intro. We're going to be talking about the Bay of Pigs and also Operation Northwood. But before we do that, we would like to talk to all our viewers and just say, hey, you know what this is a good time to do is subscribe to our channel. We're still growing, a pretty small channel, but we're putting out some good content. Definitely check out the rest of our network and subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Spotify, or subscribe on iTunes, whatever your platform allows. It's a great thing to do. But let's get into it. So the Bay of Pigs and Operation Northwood, they kind of go hand in hand. They're both kind of shady things that the U.S. government did involving Cuba in the Cold War. I don't know, how much do you guys know? I looked up a fair amount before this. What do you guys know about the
Yeah,
situation?
Go ahead,
Go
Marshall.
ahead. Go ahead, Zach.
I remember learning about this a little bit in high school, in history class actually, And I just remember it vaguely being some classified documents that ended up coming out about the U.S. staging a missile launch or something like that.
So that's what Operation Northwood was. It was
okay.
a false flag operation. It was planned by the U.S. government, the CIA in particular. The idea was to get the entire U.S. population behind an invasion of Cuba. And so what their plan was to do that was they had all kinds of ideas. One of them was to stage a terrorist attack on a plane, which is why it's usually brought up when people are talking about 9/11 conspiracies. So that was like their plan was to stage a terrorist attack on a plane it was going to be a real terrorist attack perpetrated by the U.S. government
Oh my
on
God.
U.S. citizens and then to blame it on Cuba. And then there were other ones where it was just general like shootings in the street that they were going to blame on Cuba that was actually perpetrated by the U.S. government. And it was all meant just to sway U.S. public opinion. And so it got so far as they brought it to JFK, and JFK looked at it and he was appalled. And he was like, "Are you serious?" He's like, "You are willing to go this far?" And he shot it down immediately. But that was the plan.
One thing that I found pretty interesting is originally, like, in 1960, Eisenhower told, like, the CIA to recruit, like, Cubans that, like, had moved from Cuba, like, to Miami to be part of, like, this invasion. But then...
And that was the Bay of Pigs invasion.
Yeah, this group was supposed to be particularly, like, specifically only Cuban, like, exiles. But then, in 61, 2, like, bombers were shot down, and then there were Americans killed. I think there was 4 Americans that were killed, and that they were not supposed to be involved at all in the Bay of Pigs.
The idea was that they wanted it to look like it was Cuban refugees rebelling against Cuba, so they could they could tell the Soviets, they could be like, "We weren't involved. It was just Cubans." But they also sent Marines in, and they sent bombers, and they sent they tried to hide that, and they didn't do a very good job because it's since come out that clearly this was a U.S. operation.
Yeah, dude. I mean, if you're using U.S. bombers and U.S. military agents, then if your plane gets shot down, then that's not exactly the best way to be hidden there.
Exactly.
Do you know? Has it come out who came up with this? Like, which was it? Like some senator or who was this?
It was a CIA operative.
Oh,
it was
of course.
Like
okay.
one of the heads of the CIA. He was fired.
Oh,
he was also, I believe, involved in Watergate.
Oh my God! This guy's this fucking crazy guy.
This guy's shady. Yeah. Definitely. But like, I don't know. This one, it's not so much a conspiracy because it's since been proven true. Yeah. But this one is often like people bring it up because it's like, hey, this is a conspiracy people talked about that was true. So what other conspiracies are true? And if the government is willing to do this kind of stuff, what else are they willing to do?
Exactly.
Yeah. When did it come out, though, that it was true? Because...
I believe sometime in the 80s.
Yeah. But then, like, the leader, Che Guevara, thanked President Kennedy.
Yeah.
Like, after the Bay of Pigs invasion. So...
Yeah, because it was just such a disaster that it was actually beneficial for Cuba.
But then... So, my question here is, how did, like, the leader, Guevara, thank Kennedy, and then no one really, like, knew about it until the 80s? Because Kennedy was not president in the 80s.
Well, because he didn't thank him publicly, I would assume.
Yeah.
But basically, like, so the reasoning behind that was that, like, there's rumors that the U.S. intended to lose because, basically, the Soviets as well as Cuba knew that the invasion was coming before most of the people involved in the invasion knew about it. So it was someone very, very high up leaked this information, which either means there was a spy that was very high up or that they leaked it on purpose because they wanted to lose.
Okay. Yeah, this is an interesting, like, attack
this is crazy.
And a failed attack. Like, even if it was supposed to be failed, it was, like, more failed.
Definitely, like, kind of a disaster. It was, like, this is just one of those spots when you look at the U.S. government, and I think most of these kind of things where it's like, what is the U.S. government doing? A lot of it happened during the Cold War, where they did some super, super shady things.
Right. No, I mean, I think that just... I don't mean this to not be grateful for the fact that we live in America. I am grateful, but the government is very opportunistic.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
I think part of that is like any group of humans with power is going to be opportunistic.
Just try to manipulate the masses just to get what they want. I mean, like when 9/11 happened, I'm sure we could have a 9/11 conversation, but like
we should do that in a future episode.
We'll get to that, but that's like a big.
Right, not the fact that so even after it happened, assuming everything that we've been told is true. Like, there was no need to go in Iraq that heavy, and then Bush has even gone on record saying that oil in Iraq was a main reason for him going in and putting up troops. So obviously, like, such a huge, devastating loss, and the first thing the American government thinks about is just like, oh, it's just time to get some oil. Let's send some troops out.
Yeah, like, how do we benefit from this?
Right. It's not like a... So, I'm not really surprised that this kind of stuff happens. I'm sure it happens all across the world, and I mean, I could only imagine just the shitty shit that happens in the Soviet Union and Russia and
like a little bit horrifying.
China, like
yeah.
So
this is just like one of the I could point to multiple different things where America has done some pretty nefarious things, and it's like I don't know if I want to be that guy, but applying tactics that we've now know are true to now some of the false flags that could be going on in the shit that's happening now. Right. I think that could be a possibility. I don't want to stretch too far out from the Bay of Pigs and shit like that.
It always makes you wonder what else is going on that we don't know about, that we're going to find out in 20 years that this super crazy thing was happening.
All ties in, exactly.
It all just ties in. It's like this was one piece of evidence that we know that the government was hiding something from us. So now it brings up the question on, like, what else are they technically hiding from us? Like, I mean, Area 51, too.
Hiding.
It's like...
Yeah.
And, like, to be fair, like, just we're talking about the government hiding. There is reason for the government to hide things. Because if the U.S. population knows things, then every other government knows it as well. Yeah. So, like, there's a reason that a lot of things are secretive.
Right.
It's more just, like, what the immoral things that they're doing. Like, the government is doing things that are clearly immoral. What else are they doing that... Like, what are we going to find out 20 years from now that was going on right now?
Exactly, yeah.
Who knows?
There's a difference between just holding information and plotting against a group of people by whipping your power around and just dragging your citizens along and potentially starting a war and potentially losing civilian lives just to prove a PowerPoint,
Right.
Well, obviously, we're in no position to be, like, really too critical about what the government's doing, based on the fact that none of us are in, high. But then it is.
I mean, we are their bosses.
Yeah, it is our right.
We appoint them to power.
Well, yeah. So it is our right to be skeptical about things, but then, like, really, what do we know is what I'm trying to get at. Like,
well, actually, we're supposed to know.
Yeah, is that we should be.
There are things that we probably aren't supposed to know, like Billy was saying.
Well, like national security things, but I'm saying, like, in terms of who you're voting for, you're supposed to know what you're doing.
Well, yeah, that's not.
You're supposed to know what their plan is, in general. You don't.
Yeah, you're supposed to. Yeah.
Every detail of every operation they'll ever conduct, but you want to know, like, if you're voting for someone, you should know what their general,
like, their policies and all that. And
it's
how,
definitely like it's a tightrope walk to see, like, what level of transparency is necessary and what's ideal. Like, I don't think that there's a government in the world that is not at least slightly corrupt, and that's kind of just human nature to an extent.
Yeah, I agree with you on that point, Billy. Every group in power is going to try to stay in power, and that's just how it happens. That's just how it works. So. It's not always, it's not always a bad thing. Sometimes it's just human instinct, and people just want to stay, in the establishment where they're at. They don't want things to go too crazy. So,
yeah, all right.
That is a human
trait. Kind of a
I was saying
I feel like that's kind of a good kind of concluding point. Unless you guys have any other last things you want to throw in on this topic?
Not for me.
I'm sure.
All right. Well, thank you to all of our viewers for watching. This is I think this is kind of becoming my favorite podcast to record. So if you guys like it, definitely keep watching, keep commenting, liking, whatever, and we'll see you in our next episode.